Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. There we go.
Jessamine, you want to start us off today?
Sure. Hey, Russ. Thank you for your time. If you don't have Carlos Hyde and Chris Carson in this one, just like last week, how much confidence does DJ Dallas's performance last game give you?
Well, DJ gave me confidence during OTAs or Zoom OTAs, whatever you want to call it. I think he was so detailed. I think his college film was great. I think he plays with great confidence. But his game the other day was exceptional. I thought he played a really, really great game. He was on his stuff. He really knew every detail of the game plan for the most part, and just thought he performed. It wasn't too big for him.
Thanks, Russ.
Yeah.
Michael Sean?
Hey, Russ, is there anything about the way that you grew up with your dad in particular that shapes the way that you're a father now?
Oh, man, a whole bunch of ways. We'll be here for a couple days probably. But I think that, if I could talk about one thing I think my dad gave me is, he gave me vision. He really taught me about vision, just and believing in that, and just believing what the vision that God's given me, believing in just my own vision, believing in just being creative in every way. I think that's something my dad definitely taught me, and I learned a lot from him. And his birthday's actually coming up soon, on the 9th, November 9th. So it's always an important day for me. And my mom's birthday was on the 4th yesterday. I think that. But I think about both of my parents. They obviously taught me so much, and if I can give anything to my kids, I hope that I can give them a vision of who they're destined to be, and just give them as much opportunity as possible.
Thanks.
Yep.
John Boyle?
Yeah, Russ. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Buffalo the last, other than the new stadiums, is this the last place you haven't played a game?
Yeah, I was actually talking to Austin about that earlier in the week. I was telling him this is the only stadium I haven't played in. I've been there. I actually got one on a recruiting visit there. Actually, it's me, Chandler Jones, and Trent Richardson. And I went on my draft recruiting visit there. That was one of the places I went to, and it was a cool place. They love football, that's for sure. Bills Mafia, they love it. So it'll be a great game. We're looking forward to it. They have a great team, and it's gonna be a great matchup for sure.
Do you, in a way, just think of that? I mean, you got to play for a while to hit every stadium in the league and play a lot of games. Do you think of that as an accomplishment right there? Just that you've now been to every NFL city after? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I think to go to every stadium, to be in every stadium, I think that's a blessing in itself. Just to think about it. I remember when I was a young kid, I always wanted to go to different stadiums and experience them all, and to be able to play in them all, and hopefully one day winning them all. that would be awesome. But it's just you just every day you can't take this for granted. It's definitely pretty cool.
Maz Vita?
Hey, Russ, what is working with the offensive line?
Everything. I think they're doing an amazing job. I think they're blocking their tails off from left to right. They're running the ball. We're running the ball well. I think that just their confidence is extremely high. Obviously, it starts with our leader in Dwayne Brown, who he is. He's an all-pro type player. He's an exceptional player. There's nothing he can't do. His confidence is nobody can really ever get by him. He's a really special player. I think Simmons has really stepped up. Obviously, Mike not going down, whatever, that was tough for us. But Simmons has been unbelievable for us. He had a really good start to his career, and then obviously he got injured. So for him to come back as strong as he's played has been awesome to see. Ethan Posick has really stepped into that center role, and he's so cerebral. He's so talented. A great friend. He's playing great football. And then D. Lou, he's a star rookie, man. He's one of the best in the league at what he does at the right guard position. He's confident. He's quiet. He's a silent assassin a little bit. And then Shell, he's been unbelievable at the right tackle position, just giving me time and keeping space, and he's just done a great job, and he's a competitor. I love it about him. So that whole group up front, the front five, has been really special.
Jen?
You haven't faced the Bills in a while, but you have faced a Sean McDermott coached defense in Carolina. Do you see any of that carryover in the Bills defense that maybe McDermott and Leslie Frazier brought?
Oh, you see a lot of the carryover, and I think they're two great coaches. I think they're two of some of the best coaches in the game of football, and Coach McDermott and Leslie Frazier. I got to be around Coach Frazier when I was at the Senior Bowl coming out actually, and he was my coach and stuff like that. So I got a lot of respect for Coach Frazier and Coach Sean too. He's been special. I've had to go a lot of battles against him over the years, but yes, they move around. They do a great job playing defense, and just they're really aggressive. They're great defense. They've been really great the past few years, really, and how they've played, as a collective group. And so they got a lot of talented players on that defense, from on the defensive line to the linebackers to the secondary. They do so many great things, and it's going to be a great challenge for us for sure.
Adam Kilgore.
Hey, Russ. Having watched DK Metcalf progress from when he got there, and he's still such a young guy, like when you envision what he could become or what his game will look like when he's more of a finished product, like what do you see? Like what can he ultimately be as good as he is now?
Well, I kind of talked about this not too long ago, but I think he's got the work ethic of guys, greats like Jerry Rice, and I remember when I was in college and high school and everything else, watching cut-ups of Jerry Rice and how he practiced, not just the game part of it, but how you practice. And I think that's how DK is. He has a tremendous work ethic at practice. He has a tremendous work ethic in the offseason. We spent, a month and some change together this offseason, and just in Mexico and in San Diego, California, just spending time together. And just, he's one of my best friends. He has a tremendous work ethic. And I think also, too, he's a high-character guy who loves the game of football. He loves people. If you ask me what he won't be able to do or what he can do, he'll be able to do it all. I think he'll be able to do it all. I think he'll break records. I think he'll do all that. The key is staying healthy. Obviously, that's always part of this game. I think I think the cool part is to have that quarterback receiver tandem is really special. I think we have another one also too with Tyler Lockett and who he is too as a player. And so to have both of those guys, it's a lot of fun. And then David Moore and Swain have played great for us. But I think DK, it goes back to just who he is as a person. I think, I think he's one of the the best receivers in the game of football, without a doubt.
Bob.
Yeah. Hey, Russell, did you have any issue with the hit you took from Jimmy Ward late in the game last week?
It's part of the game, I guess. Yeah. It's, we were just trying to get down. It is what it is.
Joe Fan.
Russ, I'm curious if last year, the last couple of games of the season and the first round of the playoffs, how much can you feel Dwayne Brown's presence missing when he's out? And then how big is it to have him there and healthy?
Well, I think, Joe, he's, like I said, I think he's, in my opinion, he's the best left tackle in football. And he's played like it since he's gotten here. He's been unbelievable. He can run, he can block, he can do everything. He's smart, he's intelligent, he's confident, he's a leader. He's a force, when you have him out, when you have that left tackle, and this goes for any quarterback, but, I think when you have that special left tackle, that really does make a difference. I think he plays the position, in my opinion, as good, if not better than anybody else in the game of football.
Art.
Russ, when you were working out with DK in San Diego and Mexico, was there a particular moment or an episode, whether it's a pass reception, a route run, a foot race, something like that he told you, said, "Hey, I haven't seen this before"?
Yeah, there's a few of them. There's a lot of them. There's one in particular. I'll have to share it with you guys one day. I got it saved one day. It's a good one. I haven't.
One day.
Yeah, I'll share it another day. Art. It's got to be seen. That's all I can say. Hopefully you'll see it in the game day too. It's pretty special. But yes, going back to your question, though, Art, I think he's there's so many things that he's done. I think, listen, I think that I've played with a lot of great players before, and I've thrown to a lot of great players and everything else. I mean, I've thrown to some of the best receivers in the world, and just, playing here, I play with a lot of great guys, and also obviously in the Pro Bowls and stuff like that. You throw to a lot of amazing receivers and in the offseason and stuff like that. But I think that the marriage of his obviously his freakish ability to run down the field. I mean, there's he runs a 4.32 or 4.31, whatever he runs, and maybe faster on game day, and then his ability to jump and all that. But I think that his ability to catch the football in contested areas, how strong his hands are, how physical he is, not just in the passing game but the running game. But then ultimately, at the end of the day, you got to have want to. You got to have want to. And if you have the work ethic every day and the mentality every day, then great things are going to happen, especially if you match that up with his kind of ability. And so it's I'm glad we're teammates, and I'm glad we're also friends because I love who he is as a person too.
Brady.
Hi, Russ. Excuse me. What do you remember about just your first few interactions with DK, and based on what you had just seen of him before, did anything really surprise you about those first few interactions?
Well, my first interaction with him was actually on FaceTime as soon as he got drafted. I buzzed him, I called him, and he answered. He was all excited and everything. But the first thing he said is, "When we get into work," And I think that for me, I feed off of that kind of stuff. When guys really want to be about the game and trust the process and put all their work into it, you get out what you put in, and it's that simple. And I think that it's something that he's been really special at. I think also too, just he's family to me. To be honest with you, it's just we spend a lot of time together and all that, and how Baby Future loves him. Little Future he loves him. Sienna. Even when he comes over to he's come over to the house a couple times and just held Win, and just he's family to us, and just it means a lot, and so there's one day he came over, I don't know, during the summertime whenever we were doing OTA or summer training camp or whatever, and he kind of just hung out for 2 hours, and probably about an hour and 15 minutes of that he was holding Win, just so it's just been cool just to he's like a little brother to me, you know what I mean.
And when you guys were down in Mexico and Southern California, what did you do aside from working out? I seem to remember, tell me if I'm wrong, was there a video of you guys in a golf cart? Were you guys golfing at some point?
Yeah, we've done a lot of stuff. I think I told you guys earlier, but taught him how to swim. We played a bunch of golf. He thinks he's Tiger Woods now. All of a sudden, it's like, hold on. He hits one good shot and off the tee, and he thinks he's driving the ball 350. All of a sudden, he feels like he's the best. But we had a lot of fun. Just spending time together. We did that a bunch. And shooting hoops. Playing. Shooting around, having contests and stuff like that. So we've had a lot of fun together.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Greg Bell.
Russ, did you guys, do you know if every single player voted?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, everybody voted, from my understanding, and it's been a cool process just for us to be able to get everybody registered. First of all, that's a thing in itself. I think everybody, especially for the younger guys and stuff like that, to make sure they do that, and then for guys to vote is really, really cool. And so, it's been a cool process of us coming together as a team and as a community, I think. In trying to be leaders in that sense, and just having this gift to be able to play this game.
When John Schneider and Pete Carroll drafted you, did you have any idea this organization would be leaning that much into social causes and beyond football? And what are your feelings about being that involved?
Well, I didn't know. I knew that about Coach Carroll, just obviously from his USC days where he had done a lot of stuff in the LA community, and just from gang violence to so much more, and just helping guys and girls through every situation there in LA. And so I always knew that about him. Actually, that's one of the things I admired about him when I was younger, watching USC days and when they used to play Texas and all those games, and they used to always have Ronaldo used to do those reports on them and stuff like that. I used to always love watching those. But I think that coming here, I didn't know that it's pro football, so I don't know. I knew I wanted to be heavily involved in the community and try to do as much as I could personally, and Seattle Children's and all that stuff. But I didn't know that the Seahawks organization and really ownership would be so enthusiastic behind the idea of really helping the community and helping others. And I think that's been awesome. That's been the best part about this place. Besides, obviously, championships and winning and all that stuff, it's really to have that with the idea of winning in the community and being a part of that, and everybody, tapping into this community has been really, really special, I think, over the years. And I think that's continually grown, to be honest with you. I think with the player leadership, too, as well. And I think with the idea of players wanting to be involved, I think it starts with the players. I think, in the sense that I think it starts with ownership and Coach Carroll and also, John and all that. But I think in terms of us actually igniting that and actually doing it is it's one thing to talk about it, right? It's another thing to do it, and I think it's another thing to actually make a difference and use your resources and do all that stuff. Not just resources financially, but use resources in terms of time, and resources in terms of energy, resources in terms of networking and relationships, and all of that together is what's really exciting about what we've been able to do here for the Seattle Seahawks, and it's a blessing. Obviously, I know Paul did so much in the world, and I remember he had that game, was a pretty emotional game just in itself, and all the things that he was able to create and do for this community and for this organization. A lot of it was because of Paul. It starts with him, and then I think obviously Jody has taken on that torch, and I think obviously Coach Carroll has done a great job with that too as well, and John. But I think it also goes back to us players and all of that coming together. I think one of the best people in this building, to be honest with you, is Mo Kelly. I think Mo Kelly doesn't get enough credit, but I think he's the person that really allows us players to feel confident in doing stuff and feeling that, make a difference in the world. And I think that Mo Kelly's, in my opinion, he's the most underrated player in the game. I think he's the real MVP, and I think he's the guy who's done so much for this team. And there's so many other people in the building, but I think for us players, on an everyday basis, Mo Kelly has been very, very helpful, as well as the executives and ownership.
Last one for Russell, Ben.
Yeah, Russ, you've talked so much about how many how many extra reps you've put in with DK. Has that been something you've done with Tyler, maybe more so in the past, or is it still the same now, or have you guys always had this just natural connection?
Ben, you said that's something I've done with something. I lost you there for a split second.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, like with Tyler, you've talked a lot about with DK how many extra reps you've put in. With Tyler, has it kind of been that same way? Was it maybe earlier in his career where you guys really put in all that work, or was it just really just kind of natural and you guys haven't really needed it?
What's amazing about Tyler and I, we haven't had the fortunate situation to really work a ton in the off season, for a lot of different reasons. Obviously, Tyler, the first couple of years he kind of got dinged up and got injured there, and then, then so many other things just happen in our worlds and stuff like that. And so, but me and Tyler have always, it's crazy because me and Tyler have been so magical in the field because of how he processes information, and we also always get that extra work after practice a lot, and if anything's ever missed, we always make sure we do it again and do it twice if we have to, and do a few more extra times. And that's kind of been Tyler and I's niche, and we just talk a lot. Me and Tyler are very talkative when it comes to the process of the game and how plays shape up and everything else. And then me and DK are very talkative too as well. But we're also go out there and do as much. So what's been really cool is just how each player's different. Each guy's different. Each person's lifestyle is different and everything else. And I think both of those guys have been always about the work and always about being great. And that's what's been really cool about having a guy like DK Metcalf and a guy like Tyler Lockett and those guys being so special. They make it easy on me, and I'm grateful to have great receivers like those two guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Russell.
Thank you, guys. Go Hawks.
All right, Tim Booth, you have a question for DK?
Hey, DK, you obviously had such a big game last week, but you seemed pretty upset after the one crossing route that kind of bounced off your hands and the defensive back hit you at that time. Is that, I guess, A, were you upset that you didn't hold on to that one? And B, when's the last time you had a defensive back just bounce off you like that and he seemed to get the worst of it?
I would say I was mad because it was third down and we didn't convert. And then I caught the ball and he knocked it out of my hands. So that's pretty much why I was mad. And I think that was like the first time I really seen somebody bounce off of me and they got hurt. So it kind of made me feel good after I knew he got up and he was all right.
Brady?
DK Russell told us about your golf outings this summer down in Mexico and Southern California. I've got to ask, how's your game and how's his game?
All right, I need to see what he told you first.
He said that, if I can remember right, he said that you hit a few big drives and then you started thinking that you were Tiger Woods.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, he called me Little Tiger. I'm going to say that now. My golf game was not that good at first, but, as I kind of got my swing going, I think I found my stroke. Hit a couple pars, a few birdies, but, yeah, I think I got a little golf career growing in the future.
Why do you think you and Russell have connected so well together off the field? Obviously, on the field you do, but just off the field as individuals.
I believe our mindset. We both like to win, and we're both competitive. And I believe, that brings people closer. And, during the hard times, in workouts or in games, he knows what I'm thinking, and I know what he's thinking. So, it just brings us closer together, mainly because of our mindset.
Mike Jones?
DK, talking to Nate about your growth and focus on route running, how much has that helped you, that precision, helped you just excel against coverages this year?
First off, Coach Nate and Coach Sanjay, the other assistant receiver coach, have been very exceptional with our receiver room this year, with how close to detail they've been, at practice and then translating everything to the field. But it just feels like the game's slowing down for all of us. From me, Tyler, Demo, Freddie, y'all haven't even seen Penny yet. And then a couple of more guys in our room. Just the game is just slowing down, and we just get to go out there and just do us and have fun.
Joe Fan?
DK, what's your first memory of being able to understand and know that your dad played professional football? And then how do you feel like him playing professional football has impacted you and maybe helped you?
It helped me because he's made it to the professional football league when I was just, in middle school, freshman year of high school, just had dreams and aspirations of making it to the NFL. And me just listening to everything that he had to say and the people that he was connected to. And he's seen the Devin Hesters, the Brian Urlachers. He's already been to a Super Bowl. Just the knowledge that he has for me, and me just listening to it all and just soaking it all up, because he's been and played at the highest level possible. So just basically listening to him and applying that to my life.
Do you have memories of a kid of your dad playing in the NFL? Maybe do you have a first one or a couple you can share?
My first memory is after they won the NFC Championship trophy. I was in the locker room holding the trophy after the game.
Any teammates that he had that made an impression on you, or just being the kid in the locker room?
He was an old lineman, so he mainly hung around either old lineman or defensive lineman. So Alex Brown, Tommy Harris, Anthony Adams is a good friend of his, are just three that I can name off the top.
Thanks, DK.
Ben?
DK, what's been the thing about Russ that has opened your eyes the most or surprised you the most about him that wasn't immediately clear when, watching him from afar, that first FaceTime call, just being around him? What has kind of been the thing about him that's kind of, shocked you, maybe?
I wouldn't say it shocked me, but one thing that stands out is how consistent he is and how he comes to work every day, and the process of the weekly preparation doesn't get tiring to him. He comes in every Monday, Tuesday, putting together a game plan for the next week, and he doesn't waver from that. So his consistency is what sticks out most to me.
And if you were a defensive player, what position do you think you'd be best suited at, and why?
Corner, because I want to lock down the best receiver, and then I'm gonna talk stuff and get under their skin, even when I don't make a play on the ball. So I know that's one thing that really gets at me.
Cool. Thank you.
Bob?
So who's been calling you DJ Metcalf?
Throughout the years, I have had so many reporters reference me as DJ Metcalf, and it's really starting to get to me now. I can understand, if you really don't know me, but right now, I mean, I think I'm making a name for myself, and it's in my bio, it's everywhere on my social media, and people still call me DJ, and it starts to get under my skin.
And one more on did you play a lot of defense in high school at all, or have you played defense in your life?
My freshman year, I played safety, and we played AJ Brown in high school every year, so I had to guard him at corner some games.
Jackie.
Hey, DK. Looking at the Bills secondary, what stands out to you on film?
How much they attack the ball. They don't give up on a play. From Tre'Davious White to Levi Wallace to both of their safeties to their nickel, their linebackers even try to punch the ball out. So they fly around everywhere, whether it's perimeter or down the middle of the field. They're ranked number 4 in the league with forced fumbles. So just being conscious of that, and knowing going into the game that's what they're going to try to do.
Thank you.
Art?
DK, speaking of other positions, Pete Carroll has mentioned that he'd like to see you on the edge sometime, rushing the passer. Have you ever done that, and would you like to?
I've never done it, but if it helps the team win, why not?
And have you ever been on the kick block team?
No, sir. Well, I did in college. I was on the kickoff return team in college.
Down the middle or around the edge?
No, I was on the edge. That was actually how I got injured in college.
Really?
So, yeah, I don't think they're gonna try to do that to me anymore.
What happened? Did you get hit by the ball or just?
No, I don't think the ball could have did that to me. No, that's when I broke my neck. I got hit under my chin trying to block. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, you're relieved of that duty.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Michael Sean.
Hey, DK, how do you balance, being very, very, very famous and just staying grounded as well?
Never think you're famous. Just come in every day, working like I was a 64th pick or maybe even a 7th round pick, and not ever getting too big for the moment or not changing who I am because of the notorieties or the accolades that I'm receiving this year. I know I've had a talk with a couple of our coaches, and they told me, you're going to start getting a lot of accolades and everything, but don't change who you are. And, just for them to just, think of me as a humble kid, really means a lot to me. And, that's one of my main goals, to never change, no matter how big or if I, fall off tomorrow, just never change who I am.
Do you feel famous?
No, I don't think I've done anything to be famous yet.
Thanks.
Jessamine?
DK, have you heard yourself mic'd up yet?
No, I don't think I saw a few clips. I don't like listening to myself talk. I think I sound annoying.
Last time I asked you, you said you don't talk, and we heard some talking in that game. Was it because of the Niners, or are you just not aware that you're doing it?
No, I play the game. I talk a lot on the field. Especially if a DB thinks they're doing something. That's when I really get riled up.
Yeah, who'd you have the most words with on Sunday?
The 49ers in general.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, DK.
Yeah.
Adam Kilgore.
DK, the more success that you have, the more people go back and say how did teams not draft this player until number 64, and the obvious answer seems to be the neck injury that you're talking about. I wonder, like today, even now, does that injury require any kind of maintenance on your part? And as you do look back, now you've kind of come full circle. Like when you reflect on when you were picked, like how do you process it now? How do you look back to the whole process and sort of how it played out?
No, sir. My neck is not giving me any problems today. It really doesn't require any maintenance. But looking back, it was just a blessing in disguise, as I like to describe it. I wasn't supposed to go in the first round for a reason, probably because I wasn't gonna work as hard. If I got drafted in the first round or early in the second round. But it allowed me to come in here with a chip on my shoulder and just to realize what it felt like to be an underdog in the NFL.
So you really think, because talking to some of your old coaches, like they said you've always been a really hard, determined worker. Do you think if you got picked, 15th or something like that, that might have affected your approach to the game?
I don't think it would have affected my approach to the game, but probably my approach to life, or I probably wouldn't have taken this opportunity. I probably would have taken this opportunity for granted. But like I said, it was just a blessing in disguise, and God put me in this position. He made me wait until the 64th pick, just to be placed in this organization. With Russ, with Pete, Tyler, Dwayne, Bobby, all the great players and people that are in this organization.
All right, last one for DK. Corbin.
Hey, DK, I just got to ask you, because Pro Football Focus has you down leading the league for yardage against single coverage. Are you surprised at this point that defenses continue to just put one defender on you? And how much of that is on the Tyler Lockett effect?
I was just going to say that's Tyler Lockett and David Moore and Freddie Swain and, our running back room. They really have to pick their poison, because if they're going to try to take away me, Tyler can pop off for 200 yards, or D-Mo can pop off for 100 yards. It just really comes down to picking your poison and who do you want to get defeated by that game.
Thank you, DK.
Russ for MVP. Peace out.
Jen, you have a question for Colby?
Colby, it took you a long time to be able to join the team and get out there with everybody. What has solidified for you going from kind of the Zoom meetings and the playbook to actually being on the field?
First of all, it's just such a blessing to finally be healthy. Took a while, like you said, to finally get out here, but I'm just having a blast playing football with the guys, finally being out here. And, just like you said, it's solidifying because I'm actually doing it now, right? Like I did the work in the Zoom meetings. I did the work while I was, rehabbing my foot and whatnot. But now I'm finally playing, and it's clicking. It takes me a rep or two, and I'm good to go. So definitely blessed to be back out here for sure. Thank you.
Bob?
Colby, we haven't really had a chance to talk with you since that happened. What did happen? You just got hurt in an off-season workout, or?
Yeah, so I was running routes back home, training to come up here, and ended up breaking my 5th metatarsal, and rehabbed it, and here I am.
Something you knew was immediately bad, or? Yeah,
there's a pop, and I just knew I broke it, and got surgery 2 days later, and started the rehab process as soon as I could.
And that was back home in
Southern California, Los Angeles area. Yep.
Curtis?
Yeah, Colby, given the fact you've had to sit by the sidelines and watch up until now, how much has it come to you to where when you got out there, everything was able to kind of click and make sense from a playbook standpoint, or how much do you still need to kind of take in now that you're thinking it through?
Right. I think I was able to step in pretty immediately and understand the playbook because of the work I put in on the front end, and making sure I was really locked in during meetings and practice. I'd always bring a script out to practice, make sure I was going through in my head whether I'm the Y or the F or whatever it may be. So that way, when I came out, a couple weeks ago to start, I was ready to step into the huddle and be comfortable. I mean, of course, there's going to be some getting used to, but I feel very confident out there, and I know what I'm doing.
And do you think you could have been back any sooner had the rules allowed it? Like, when did you feel like you were getting healthy fully?
Yeah, I felt healthy pretty soon after the season started. But, given the rules, it was 6 weeks, but it was kind of a blessing. It was almost like a mini red shirt. Got to train, got to watch the guys, and come in with fresh legs halfway through the season.
Greg Bell.
Hi, Colby. What are you doing to not try to do too much too fast and try to make up for, 6 weeks in 1 week and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I'm just enjoying it, honestly. Just going out there every day. Playing football is a million times better than training for football. So as much fun as I was having training and getting ready for the season, just playing football has been a blast. So very thankful to be out there and just going out there, with a sense of gratitude every day. It's not a given that I get to play football, so definitely thankful to be out here.
And you went to a university that's a little bit more than just football.
Right.
Did you know when you came here how proactive the Seahawks would be in social issues and voting and doing the things that they've done since just in the time you've been here? How much is that a surprise, or what are you thinking about that?
Yeah, so back at Stanford, Coach Shaw was awesome about that. He was always talking to us about the issues that were at hand socially and politically throughout the country. But Coach Pete is amazing with all that stuff. Talking about if anything comes up, just making sure the players are all good and on the same page and handling it well. So definitely thankful for his proactiveness and making sure that we're all okay and we're able to move forward as a team.
Did you expect an NFL team to do that, or just
not to this extent? I mean, this is a huge blessing.
Ben?
Colby, is there anything you learned about yourself having to sit out to start your NFL career?
I learned that it's going to take a lot of work to get back and get healthy. I learned a lot about the rules, that's for sure. I wasn't too fresh on the NFI, PUP, all that stuff. So, but no, I did learn a lot. I learned about, having to be locked in at practice, like I mentioned. It's not like I could have just sat around for the past 6 weeks and then just all of a sudden been ready to play. It was every week had to come to work, ready to get better and take advantage of that, like I said, mini red shirt to be able to start playing as soon as I was able to be cleared.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Art.
Colby, what's the worst thing about Luke Wilson?
The worst thing about Luke Wilson, he thinks he has better hair than me.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Brady.
Hi, Colby. Good talking with you. Why do you think Stanford has been such a tight end factory over the last decade or so?
I think it's the pro style offense that we run there. Honestly, the offenses are very similar between Stanford and here, and just having that knowledge of being a pass protector, a run blocker, a route runner allows you to step into an NFL offense, especially like the style we run here, and be ready to go. It's not like it was a foreign language when I started learning the playbook here. It was very similar, and just had to translate it over, and I think that definitely helps out guys as they make the next step to the NFL.
And did I hear that you play guitar in your free time? Is that
do.
Right?
Yes, I do. Yep.
What kind of guitar and what do you like to play?
Yeah, so I play acoustic guitar, just relaxing acoustic music, nothing too crazy. Play a little rock every now and then, but mainly some acoustic worship type music.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, one last follow-up from Bob.
Yeah, Cole, you got on the field last week for the kneel downs.
Yep.
What was that experience like? I guess just getting on the field, and then obviously I'm sure you want to get on hoping this week to get on the field in a more real capacity, I guess.
Yeah, it was great. It was nice to suit up, and that was my first time being on the sideline for a game with all the COVID restrictions. I had to be up in the box for home games. So honestly, just experiencing that was awesome. Being on the sidelines, feeling the energy of the team. And then going out there for an 05 personnel kneel down was pretty cool to have all the tight ends out there.
Thanks, Colby.
Thanks, guys. God bless.
Thank you.